Hi, I'm Jeff Dixon, and this is We Didn't Start the Fire, where we are looking at life lessons from what we have called the book of Joel, the prophet Joel, or not really, it's Billy Joel. But Billy Joel is an iconic musical artist, been around a long time. His songs have been the soundtrack or backdrop for many people at many points of their life. And so looking at his songs for some deeper meaning and some spiritual meaning in the songs, and that's what this series is about. In this particular episode, we go to a song that is one of my personal favorites of Billy Joel, and I like Billy Joel, so you're going to hear me say that a lot, I'm sure, over the course of the series. But the song is called Extremes. Extremes. Got that catchy little line that says, "Darling, I don't know why I go to extremes." Billy Joel, according to his story, wrote this song, and he was writing about struggling with manic depression. By his own admission, he was the one struggling with it. And so he says that actually his manic depression was coming in quite handy. He said because he discovered that there's not a lot of material and inspiration in moderation. So being manically depressed really helped him out a lot. And so it gives us this edgy song. In the song, he says, "Darling, I don't know why." He's actually referring to his wife at the time, Christy Brinkley, who was with Billy Joel from 1985 to 1994, kind of an odd couple when you look at them, but they were together quite a while. And so he is trying to offer also some kind of musical explanation as to what in the world is this guy doing with his life, always pushing the edge or seeming to go further than he needs to go. If you've listened to the song, you know that the piano part at the end of the song is just, he is all over the keyboard at that point. He's going back and forth with extreme highs and then extreme low notes. And the Long Island Boy has created in this song what I think is one of the iconic, inspirational, for me in my life, spiritual lines of all time that seems on the surface to have nothing to do with any of those things. There's a line in Extremes that says, "I'm clear as a crystal, sharp as a knife. I feel like I'm in the prime of my life." And in the context of the song, he's talking about that's what causes him to go further, pushes him on to the edge, pushes him beyond the edge to the bleeding edge. Another person from Long Island, besides Billy Joel, has that line of that song tattooed to her rib cage, and that's Lindsay Lohan. She said it captured a moment in her life when it really seemed to represent everything that she was going through. Now, if you've seen the music video, it is a wild thing where Billy has a new band in place for the very first time. The video itself, if you remember those video days, was directed by a woman named Paula Grief. And she did a number of music videos for Duran Duran. And Billy Joel, by his own admission, hated making music videos, but he knew the importance of making music videos that would sell the song. And for her, she had listened to the song, and that's why if you watch it, he plays the piano with his feet. He seems to be all over the place. It's a high energy, kind of just a real frantic type of camera movement that's taking place there. All of that lends to the music of the song. The song ends up being a top 10 hit off of the same album that we had talked about in an earlier part of the series, Stormfront. It is the same album where the title of this particular show comes from, We Didn't Start the Fire, was found. And of course, that song went to #1. The album also was a album that Billy Joel switched producers from Phil Ramone, who had done all of his albums up to that point, to Mick Jones, who was a part of Foreigner and had also been part of a Van Halen project. And Billy Joel said there was no bad blood, it was just looking for something different, a sound that was different. And Stormfront certainly achieved that. And so, it is a song about someone who is always pushing the limits. So the spiritual part, the line that I tell you that I like, clear as a crystal, sharp as a knife, I feel like I'm in the prime of my life. That could have a lot of meaning, I suppose. And there's probably a lot of things you could say about that. So when I bring it back to the spiritual side, I would simply say that when you are a follower of Jesus Christ, and you are really doggedly determined to understand truth and live your life by that set of standards, things do become much clearer. And once you're as clear as a crystal, then you can become sharp as a knife. In other words, God hones you. It's that iron that gets sharpened and the sword of God's word that sharpens you. So sharp as a knife And when you're living in that zone, that space, doesn't matter what age you are, you feel like you're in the prime of your life. And so in some ways, that line in the song is one I always gravitate to because it reminds me that with God, there is a journey that is fresh and is new and keeps pushing me beyond where I am today. I'll go to extremes. Maybe some of you need to go to extremes, not in the bad way, not in the abusive way, not in the way that's going to hurt you, but that spiritual sense of just going beyond where you are already. If so, then you will have learned a lesson from the book of Joel. And that line in the song might mean something to you as well. That's it for this edition. Go to extremes, see what you can become, and light your world on fire for the love of God.